But Dick Cheney, and you know how white people always do studies, and we need to be more studious, but they're always doing studies, and one of the things they do in politics is a likability study. They actually test you when you're running for big office. Your party tests you to see if you're likable. Dick Cheney, when they did the likability test, was the only person in the history of these tests that got a 0. Nobody liked him. White, black, old, young, rich, poor, name it. Nobody liked him. He is incapable of being chosen by the people. But from 2000 on, the jobs began to disappear. Where did they go? They went to nations, so-called third world countries, where people are paid a slave wage. See, this country was founded on free labor. You cannot escape your foundation. So its economic base is free labor, and it can't sustain itself unless there's a bottom level doing more work than it gets compensated for. So what are we entitled to? And what is this fight in D.C. about? We are entitled, beloved, and our children are entitled to be able to live to the end of a human life that is of the length that God intended it. Not to drop dead of stroke, heart attack, and cancer, and other illnesses that are primarily a product of greed on someone's part. We have a right to have good health, adequate nutrition, good shelter, to be able to avoid unnecessary and non-beneficial pain, to have pleasurable experiences in life. These aren't things that come from a program. These are your natural human right. And nobody is doing you and I a favor to create an environment for that to happen in. We have a right to be able to use our senses to imagine, to think, to reason, and we are entitled to the educational opportunities that make us realize these capacities. We have a right to be able to have attachments to people beside ourselves and to have material wealth. We have got to stop allowing people to teach us that poverty and deprivation is righteousness. That's how we were kept in chains for 400 years. You'll get yours after you leave here. This self is not getting nothing after it leaves here. It's over. You have a duty to yourself, your family, and your community to be all you can be and to get all you can get morally in this life. We have to want more and stop teaching ourselves to be satisfied with nothing. There are people who are spiritually incompetent and try to persuade us that righteousness and deprivation are the same thing. Now, you hear people say, well, God, He tries you with loss. You got to go through loss. let me ask you this. In order for God to try us with loss, don't we have to have something to lose? Why should he bother trying us? And a trial is something you undergo to qualify for the next level.
That's right.
But you got to be qualified to be tried to qualify.
Right.
Meaning, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, as Minister Farrakhan teaches, you and I got to get up and do something for ourselves. And each time we move out on our own behalf, help begins to come. All right? It's that saying they have. They say when you have trouble with your car, if you just pull over and just sit in the car, everybody keeps going by. But if you get out and flash a light or try to change the tire, it's seconds before somebody pulls over. May I help you? How can I help you? Do nothing. Now, tests are for people seeking to achieve a goal. In the quest for life, 200 million sperm are at the starting gate. Only those sperm that qualify ever get a tail. God ain't giving out no 200 million tails. Because some of those sperm never move. They're too tired. They're too weak. They're not motivated. They don't want anything in life beyond they don't want to become a human being. A complex, advanced life form. They just want to be a head of a sperm. And they stay right there at that gate and never go anywhere, it's disintegrate. Now those that show an effort, they grow a tail. And the tail's function is to assist the sperm in propelling its way against the law of gravity to go up to get to that egg. Now, we heard about our boy Michael Phelps smoking reefer in a big pipe. And you know, I don't want to sound like I don't like somebody, but it's just so incredible how propaganda works and how the media works. And how the same action generates entirely different commentary. Yeah, it's like when a black athlete makes any kind of misstep, he's just the worst thing that ever lived. And there's just not enough punishment in the world. Now, Michael Phelps, who's smoking reefer on somebody's college campus in this big long pipe, and it only comes out now that before the Olympics, he was pulled over for drunk driving. Before the Olympics. So now you got, my husband and I are listening to some Negroes on the radio who are justifying and saying, well, you know, he apologized, and so did Michael Vick, and he went to jail. But I didn't even come here for that. I'm saying the Olympic trials, to try out for the Olympics, to get on the Olympic team, you have to undergo the trial. Let's say you want to be on the Olympic track team. You can't just roll up in there, my weight, out of shape. I want to run. Well, you should have ran before you came. See, you have to manifest immediately, just by your appearance, that you might be able to qualify.